Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. A lot of people are buzzing about yesterday's news, September 6th, 2016. Vladimir Putin's supposedly favorite chauffeur killed in a violent car accident. And in case you missed this news story, they've put out the video of the car crash. Let's just begin by watching this video, blow this up for you a little bit. Here we go, Truth Seeker. Short clip. This is the accident. What we're going to talk about in this video is why this news came specifically on the date September 6th. Here we go. So, violent accident. Look at the force. You can see the debris left on the road, how far the car spun. They have not released the name of the driver. They've just said he was Vladimir Putin's favorite chauffeur. That's how pretty much every news outlet has described the man who was passed. Finish this news clip here, showing the stalled traffic due to the wreck. So there it is. I'll link this clip down in the description if you want to watch it a second time. Let's talk about now why this news came September 6th. If you're new to my channel, I am exposing how the powers that be, which are a network of Freemasons and Zionists in high places who control media worldwide, I'm exposing how each day they create news stories and propaganda by the numbers. In the mainstream media, they are always sure to use the language of gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. This is from The Sun, the UK publication. Notice how in caps they have this phrase emphasized, Vlad's driver killed. That emphasized phrase has gematria of 187, which here in the United States is often used by police for the homicide code, a number that shows up around ritual killing often. What I want to say about the United States and Russia, this is something a lot of people overlook. The United States of America and Russia are run by the same Masonic Zionist network. Here in the United States of America, we're mostly fed with propaganda about Russia, divisiveness about Russia. We don't recognize the truth of that nation's existence or our own. But if you just look on the surface, things become relatively clear to see. Think about Russia's prior name before it broke up. The United States of Soviet Russia. The United States of America. I imagine that someday in this nation we will be broken up into smaller countries. You know, right now the country it's way too big. It's way too big to be governed over by one central government. A nation of 300 million plus and growing. Anyhow, think about Russia and the United States of America. Two nations with nuclear programs, two nations with space programs, two nations that have fought against each other in many civil wars. The South Korean War, Vietnam War, it was the United States representing one side of Korea, Russia representing the other. The United States representing one side of Vietnam, Russia representing the other. The United States of America and Russia are the left arm and the right arm of the military empire of the Masonic Zionist One World Order, New World Order government, commonly referred to as the Illuminati. I just want to point out that use of Vlad's for Vladimir also has gematria 58, the number of Freemasonry, the number of secret society, United States equals 58. There's a reason NASA, which is run by Freemasons, was established in 58. So anyhow, here's why this story came yesterday. Russia is a nation with gematria of 42. Russia equals 42. 42 has a connection to 96. If you add all the divisors of 42, they sum to 96. Yesterday's date was September 6th, the date that can be written 9/6 or 6/9. The word Freemason has gematria of 42 and 96. 42, very special number to this gang. New World Order, the word new equals 42. The Bible, the New Testament, which the Christians go by, The New Testament begins with the book of Matthew. Matthew equals 27. There's 27 books in the New Testament. It's the first of 27. If you read Matthew, it begins by listing the 42 generations that lead up to Jesus. New Testament equals 42, New World 42, Zionism 42, Freemason 42. The Freemasons are builders. Architect equals 42, building equals 42, math equals 42. Yesterday's date numerology was also a date with 51 numerology. The word Freemason with the S exception sums to 51. The word Freemason equals 42 in Pythagorean gematria. There's one S in that word. S can be worth 1 or 10 in this system. Watch my How to Gematria video to understand. With the S exception, where S is 10, Freemason also sums to 51 like conspiracy. Think about here in the United States, Area 51. The word federal also equals 51. So that date, September 6th, that can also be written 6/9. And look at the gematria of Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. Vladimir Putin equals 69, the reflection of 96. A lot of today's headlines are saying this was a message to Vladimir Putin. There's speculation in the Sun that this car accident was caused by the CIA. All you need to know is all of this news reporting, it's all propaganda, meant to control the way people think, their understanding of this world, steer false rumors that aren't true. I should point out that false flag also has gematria of 69. A false flag is a staged propaganda event to steer people down the path of agenda. This nation, the United States of America, as well as many other nations that are run by this same New World Order, the media is completely based on false flags and deliberate propaganda by the numbers. You never seen my work on September 11th and the worst false flag? You got to check that out. September 11th, a false flag that was planned from before the time the buildings were built. Putin, he's born October 7th, 1952, currently 63 years old, approaching his 64th birthday. 63 special in 2016. If you count every number up to 63, it sums to 2016, like the year we're in. Yesterday, September 6th, was also 63 days before the U.S. presidential election, November 8th. There might have been a tribute in this story to what is happening in the United States. As I've been explaining for months, there's an ongoing riddle involving news stories, movies from the past, including Taxi Driver, and even a card game called Illuminati. There's a card in that game called Hit and Run. It has to do with a car wreck, killing somebody, and assassination in high places. It would be interesting to find out that this Russian, accident was truly a tribute staged foreshadowing an event to come in the United States, which we might hear about before long. Putin was also born in October, the only month with 33 gematria, 33 the number of Freemason obsession. The day he was born was a date with 69 numerology, matching his name gematria, matching the date of this accident, September 6th, which is written 6/9 in Russia. Here in the United States, we write it 9/6, but in the U.S., we do most things backwards. And yes, in case you're wondering, I am saying most definitely that this accident was, purposeful. I think I made that clear, but just in case you're wondering, yes, I'm saying this was all staged, purposeful. It wouldn't even surprise me if this accident didn't even really happen yesterday. We live in an age where there's computer graphics, a lot can be done on computers. This might have happened yesterday. If this was recorded long ago, contrived, that wouldn't surprise me in the least either. Keep in mind the day and age we live in, the video and visual manipulation. A lot of ways they could stage this type of propaganda. Picture of Putin in the Sun reporting, looking depressed. They said Putin was out of the country when this happened. Here's today's reporting from the Sun. Vladimir Putin's presidential car driver who died in a car crash was killed in political assassination. And notice how they emphasize killed in political assassination. That phrase has gematria of 333. Very similar to 33. 3, a special number in numerology. When you triple a digit, you magnify its power. The Zionist State of Israel, which was established by the numbers out of agenda, was established on November 29th, 1947, with a 33-member vote by the United Nations. November 29th, the 333rd day of the year. So I also want to talk about two other headlines that were in the media yesterday. In addition to this, we got more headlines about Iran. Iran flexes muscle against U.S. Here in the United States, we've been getting headlines like this for literally more than 2 decades. Always this hinting in the media that we might be going to war with Iran. Back in 2008, when Obama and Hillary were debating to see who would be the Democratic nominee, they were going toe-to-toe on who could be, more of a warmonger about Iran. The reason Iran was in the headlines yesterday is also because it was by the numbers. Typically, when Iran's in the headlines, it's on dates with 42 numerology. I've documented this so many times on my blog. If it's a date with 42 numerology, they want to stick Iran there because Iran equals 42. What you have to understand is Iran, all these nations in the Middle East, Africa, all these nations were carved up and created by the Masonic Zionist New World Agenda out of these world wars that they created by the numbers. All of these nations, they are run by this game. There's something called the Arab League, which was established after World War II. It was established on the date March 22nd, which can be written 322 or 22/3. That date, March 22nd, the 223 sequence, Masonic equals 223, the Synagogue of Satan equals 223. In Revelation, the book of prophecy from the Bible, it says the false Jews will rule in the end times. Their name will be the Synagogue of Satan, like 223. Think about the Zionist State of Israel in the Middle East, where it doesn't belong. All those nations in the Arab League joined on 223. It's not hard to see what's going on throughout history by the numbers. So anyhow, Iran 42. This news on September 6th. Again, the divisors of 42 sum to 96. Freemason, the small way 42, the big way 96. Freemasons pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge. The same thing with the word knowledge. Knowledge 42, the small way, 96, the big way. And for one more kicker in the headlines yesterday, September 6th, CNN ran this story. Wait, math is racist? In case you're new here, you will appreciate this. As it turns out, math has been used to encode words with racism and hate. Math equals 42, as we discussed. All the racial programming for black people in this nation and elsewhere has the number 42 coded behind it. The word boy equals 42. Sometimes the word boy is used to speak to a black person in a derogatory manner. Brothers, we have the phrase brothers to describe the black people. Brothers equals 42. The only month with 42 gematria is February, Black History Month, which ends on February 28th, which is the 59th day of the year. 59, another number stamped all over black people. Negro equals 59, slave 59, blues 59, Rasta 59, Motown Records came out in 59. If you write out the word 5 and you write out the word 9, they're the only two words that sum to 42 in gematria. 5 and 9 make up 59, connecting back to 42. The most hateful word for black people also sums to 42. And in South Africa, that word is kafir, which has gematria of 33 and 42. Freemasons worldwide, a network that's thousands of years old. The Freemasons have built this world around us, and they've done it by the numbers. Building, mathematics, it all goes together. So this is why you heard about Vladimir Putin's car wreck yesterday. I see a lot of truth channels have done a video on this. You search YouTube, tons of information. I was watching some videos just to see what people had to say. No one mentioned a thing about the significance of the date September 6th. This is the kind of knowledge that needs to spread. All the channels out there dedicated to truth, please start incorporating these gematria lessons. You can keep them simple. You could just show how Russia equals 42, its connection to 96, the Freemasons. You apply this knowledge, you're going to see that every day your news headlines are contrived by the numbers. Until next time.